Well, we saw a Packers loss, but a very fun game, I thought, from the Packers offense. There was a lot of highs, a lot of lows of Aaron Rodgers. We saw Jordon Love come in, so I'm going to talk about it all. I'm going to talk about the Jordon Love moments that we saw, the Aaron Rodgers good and bad that we saw, and maybe what it means for the Packers going forward as well. So plenty to get into. Let's just get into it. All right, let's start off with this play. Let's start off with the first interception. Kind of a weird one, certainly, where it's going to be man coverage. That's the first step, and it's actually going to start off being a really good play by Aaron Rodgers. Watch how Rodgers takes the snap, and you're going to see, despite the immediate pressure, he somehow gets out of that and is going to find a way to fire the ball down the field, which takes us to here. It was a great play, and it's a 3rd down and 4, and he's playing the Eagles, so maybe he has a bit more of a gunslinger mentality. I mean, hey, what's the criticism he always gets, right? He doesn't know how to play from behind because he plays too cautious when he need to take chances. Well, hey, maybe a time to take a chance, although maybe not, because you see that Darius Slay has completely come in here and completely closed whatever window Rodgers thought he had. So this is a tough decision at this point, given what we know now. Hindsight is 20/20, but this is what Darius Slay does to people. Now, it ends up hitting off Slay's helmet and bouncing up and being intercepted. I mean, that's, hey, maybe Darius Slay's watching some World Cup and it bounced off his helmet. I heard that on Twitter. I think that's funny. But, not a terrible play from Rodgers, but I mean, at the end of the day, he threw to an unopened receiver and it resulted in an interception. Yes, it's a bit fluky in how it happened, but is there reasonable criticism there? Sure. Although then, let's go over here, where we would see a great play, and it kind of felt like this is how the game went, is bad play, great play, bad play, great play. This is a great play. It's going to be Randall Cobb, who, hasn't had as many snaps as you would like this season, has struggled to stay healthy, but has played very well. It's kind of funny because everyone made fun of Rodgers for wanting the Packers to sign Randall Cobb. That was the rumors. I do have to say, though, I feel like Randall Cobb's been a pretty good signing for them, or at least he's been a valuable asset for the Packers, if nothing else, when he's been on the field. He's going to run a great route here. Watch as Rodgers runs the play action. Cobb is able to get the inside leverage, and he is open. But again, we just saw these Eagles secondary players, they cover in a hurry. They move in a hurry, so you have to be careful. Now, this is not one of their better corners. This is Joshua Scott, who's not been quite as good as some of the other guys, but still. Rodgers throws it in a spot where only Cobb can make the grab. Cobb does make the grab. Just a beautiful throw from Rodgers. Again, to the people that say Rodgers is washed up, I don't know what games they're watching. Because, okay, listen, he's turning the ball over more than he seemingly ever has. In fact, definitely more than he ever has. I mean, the guy's on pace to, throw the most interceptions of his career. His previous high was 13, so he could hit that. But still, he's also making some great plays. I think we should talk about both. Although, again, going over to the other interception, I really do have to say, some of these are just really good plays by the Eagles. Like, that's kind of one thing that I feel like I'm trying to get more people to talk about. That's my mission here this season. I feel like every year I have like one thing I'm trying to get people to pay more attention to. This year, it's giving credit to defenders for getting interceptions. Far too often, all we do is blame the offense when there's an interception. You have to give credit to defenders, and this is going to be a very good defensive play. Watch how Rodgers takes the snap, and you're going to see how, that route I showed you on the screen earlier, there was a window for this to be made. The issue, of course, is the safety, who is actually, Reed Blankenship on this play. He's in a position where he can definitely come in and make the play. Now, I do have to say, Rodgers, you have to know that the safety's there. You do. You have to know that the safety's there. You're a veteran NFL quarterback. This isn't something that I would notice if I was playing, but, I've never come close to doing anything as good as Aaron Rodgers, so that obviously goes without saying. This is something that I expect Rodgers to say, okay, I have to be careful if I'm going to make this throw. Rodgers throws it, Blankenship steps in and is able to get the interception in front. That's a great defensive play. It really is. Read perfectly, moved in, made the play. Fantastic defensive play. Also a throw, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers would tell you, probably not one he should have made in hindsight. I get why he did it, because you saw the window that appeared to be developing, but just not the play he should have made. But then we go over here where we would see Rodgers put his team right back in it. And again, they would immediately give up a couple touchdowns right after this. But still, at this point, midway through the second quarter in a 22-14 game, Aaron Rodgers takes the snap. He is going to do the classic Aaron Rodgers rollout. And I'm going to pause it right here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like every time Rodgers makes a throw, while he looks like this, it seemingly always works out for him. It's like Brett Favre used to do this, where he'd throw across his body, and it would half the time be an interception, most famously in the NFC Championship game when he was playing with the Vikings. But for Rodgers, I feel like when you see this, you know that there is trouble. Look, he is going to make an incredibly impressive play. Again, just kind of such a weird thing happening with Rodgers of these bad interceptions, which I'll explain away some, but they're still interceptions. You're still throwing to the other team. You got to be better than that. But then he's, sandwiching them in with some of these great offensive plays. Just such a weird game from him. So then we go to here with 9 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock. A very fascinating thing that happened. So this is 15 years ago to the day. Brett Favre got injured, Aaron Rodgers took his place, and it set the stage for a future Aaron Rodgers starting season. Now, again, contract situation very different. Rodgers is probably not going anywhere next year. I couldn't see that happening. Maybe there's a way that happens, but I'd be surprised. But it's just kind of a funny coincidence as we now have Jordan Love in the game due to an Aaron Rodgers injury. He's going to look towards Christian Watson over the middle, and Love takes a snap and runs a play action. And to be honest, this was a very easy throw. I mean, not to be the guy, I feel like some people say, well, I could have made that throw, and really you probably can't. NFL is a lot harder than it realizes. I feel like if you're watching at home, you could probably make that throw. It was not the most difficult, but what he did well was he didn't just get the completion. I think most people could get the completion, but he put it in a perfect spot for Watson to be able to make the grab and run after the catch. If he didn't do that, Watson still gets the first down, but how much more does he get? I don't know. However, he's able to be in this spot, and it looks like the two Philadelphia defensive backs in that area kind of just took a poor angle. I mean, watch Watson just blow by everybody, and he is going to be able to get into the end zone for a touchdown there. Great speed from Watson. I mean, this guy's just been on an absolute tear recently, but also good play from Jordan Love, and definitely a fun play. Now, that ended up not being quite enough for the Packers to get the victory there. They definitely put up a solid fight, put up a lot of points here. Those couple early turnovers offensively made it not quite enough for them to be able to pull off the victory. Also, their defense just getting destroyed was the bigger thing. But again, part of that is the Eagles' offense is good, and part of that is the Packers' defense has been very disappointing this season. It's a combination of the two things, of course. But, as a whole, I think that this was a fun game from the Packers, but obviously another disappointment as you fall to 4-8. And realistically, this was kind of all she wrote. I mean, maybe you can make the playoffs at 9-8, but the odds of that are slim, and it would be tough at that spot. The reality is, this was kind of a disappointing loss for the Packers. A game that they thought they had at least a chance of at a certain point in this game, just didn't quite work out. But at least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.